All right, let's get the ball rolling. Welcome, everyone, to the Middle School Building Committee meeting of Monday, October 20th. This is a virtual meeting. We are meeting in the Media Center in the new Coakley Middle School. I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. Even though the project is essentially completed, we still have a very busy agenda, and there's still some things to do before we close things out. So, with that, is there anybody here from the public wishing to make a comment? Seeing no one, anyone online from the public? Hearing none, I consider the public comment period to be closed. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of our September 15th meeting.
So moved.
Motion made.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none. This is a virtual meeting, so this has to be a roll call vote. Let me start with Matt Lane.
Yes.
David Hiltz.
Yes.
Diane Ferreira.
Yes.
Margot Frezek.
Yes.
Gary Pelletier.
Yes.
And chairman votes yes. And Tim Luff.
Yes.
Thank you. That's unanimous. Thank you. Okay.
Alrighty, I'll just take us through a couple of progress shots. As you can see, as the chair mentioned, the building is obviously complete, working on the phase 2 at the turf field. The field surface has been completed. It was installed and tested at the end of last week. Next slide. Some landscaping is ongoing around the field area. Some loam and seed and trees have been planted. Walkways have been prepped and are pending asphalt this week. And then just continuing our theme, activities on site. One of the items, just key milestones completed. They completed the removal of the old water service in Washington Street. The chain link fence was installed at the retaining wall. And again, as we mentioned, the turf field performance testing was completed last week. Some work that is ongoing currently, punch list items in day 2 change order work in the building, along with the guardrail along the access road. Finalized commissioning of the building systems as we head into the heating season. Continuing to train the faculty and staff on the building systems and elements. We're finalizing some supplemental FF&E and technology purchase orders, which we can talk about in a little bit. And then at the bottom here, just a couple of the warranty items that have popped up to be more of a bigger issue that we're chasing down. This first one is elevator 2. We've had some service interruptions where the car has been offline. People have gotten stuck in the elevator, and we're troubleshooting those issues. We think it might have something to do with the card reader and the security integration between the elevator and the card reader, which, again, the project team is chasing down. The residential appliances in the building are experiencing power losses. We're finding out that those units are not compatible with the GFCI breakers that have been installed to control those units, so we're working with, again, the team to replace those. An odd issue that we're tracing down is we are experiencing warm water at some of the cold water faucets. Seems to be isolated to first thing in the morning when the team arrives and opens the building, and once the stagnant water from overnight has been able to be flushed out, we don't see that issue coming back, but again, we're still trying to identify the root cause of that and correct it going forward. Finally, in the kitchens, some of the hot and cold storage wells, these are like the more, I'd say chest-like refrigerators and freezers, are having issues electrically where they are either producing an error code and shutting off or tripping a breaker and shutting off. 2 different issues on the first and the third floor that we are chasing with the manufacturer on getting those units corrected.
Any questions, comments? Okay.
And then just some of the upcoming major milestones that we're tracking. Final site paving, again, by the end of the month. It was scheduled for, I think it was scheduled to begin today, and with the weather, had to be pushed out towards the end of the week. Final commissioning of the heating systems will take place once those have been transitioned. Construction team is demobilizing. W2 Reach's contract is wrapping up towards the end of the year, so the expectation is they'll be off-site and done with their contract work at that time. And then we have some work that will continue into next year with the landscaping, lawns, and punch list and acceptance of those. And then a 10-month commissioning walk through scheduled for June of next year. Go to the third. Keep going here. Into the monthly VIP package. One more. It's about 30 or 40 items in this month, so we broke it down here into the big buckets. First is Vertex for their monthly OPM services, inclusive of an invoice from Interval Data Systems, IDS. They are the building automation consultant. Total $105,039.95. Next from AI3 for their monthly architectural services, along with their consultants' charges, $15,303.73. WT Rich's application for payment number 28 for $1,604,107.38. Technology purchases against their technology budget for $39,560.09. And a big chunk of that is made up of the vape sensors that were purchased out of that budget. I think it's more than half of that, and some other items to go along with that the school has requested. Fixtures, furniture, fixtures, and equipment for $103,126.18. A couple items that make up this. There was a Fisher Scientific for a lot of the science lab spaces that was back ordered. That was a big chunk of this money that just arrived. There was a few floor scrubbers purchased for the facilities team, about $20,000 worth. And there was a grand piano purchased for $20,000 in there too, for the total of $103,126.18. And last but not least, other project charges for $438.84. This was just for some temporary wayfinding signage for around the site as we transition from construction to occupied building, along with the phase 2 work that still needs to be completed. And for a grand total this month, $1,867,574.17.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Seeing none, pleasure of the committee.
Motion to approve $1,867,574.17.
Okay,
VIP
thank
vendor
you.
invoice package.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, again, let's take a roll call vote. Matt Lane,
Yes.
Tim Luff,
Yes.
David Hiltz,
Yes.
Diane Ferrera,
Yes.
Margot Frizek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
and chairman votes yes. Again, thank you, that's unanimous.
Thank you. Just continuing with our budget update, through the end of, September, we have committed 138.3 of the $150 million budget. And of that 138 million, 127.5 has been spent to date, leaving us with just over 11.6 million in the budget at this point. And the MSBA reimbursement continues. We are waiting for responses on 45, 46, and 47 for August, September, and October. To date, 127.9 million in costs have been submitted to the MSBA, with 75.3 million eligible for reimbursement, and the town has received 40.9 of that million to date.
Okay, thank you. And again, any questions on the budget? Okay.
Okay, for the FF&E budget, the budget is $2,158,101, and we have spent or committed $2,181,638. This includes the $18,000 transfer from the technology line, and for the technology, we have The budget is $2,549,899 with that technology or that FF&E transfer. So we have $597,100 left to commit in technology. We're tracking all the technology or requests through the Google Sheet along with warranty items, bringing us to the new requests. So for FF&E, we have various pieces of furniture and equipment totaling $168,119.95. This includes 50 additional desks, chairs, and desks and chairs to go in the science classrooms as well.
Okay. Thank you. Again, asking Margot, are we pretty much up to date with FF&E, or there still may be a few things outstanding?
Does this include everything that we've gone over?
Yeah,
That
everything
Anissa
from the
and Tim
list
and I
we've
have
been
gone
missing,
over?
yeah.
If this includes everything, then
Everything to date?
everything,
Okay,
then this
cool.
is
Good, okay.
99.9%.
Okay.
I reserve that 0.1%. Just to be on the safe side.
Thank you. All right, any comments, questions? Seeing none, again, pleasure of the committee. Do I have a request for a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, again, a voice vote. Matt Lane,
Yes.
Tim Luff,
Yes.
David Hiltz,
Yes.
Diane Ferrera,
Yes.
Margot Frizek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
and Chairman votes yes. Again, unanimous. Thank you. All right.
For technology, we have 3 additional items: a OWL camera for the school, a computer table for the computer lab next to us, and smart screen covers, totaling $21,294.36 that we'd be looking to purchase.
Okay. Okay, do we have a motion?
Vote
I'll
to,
make a motion to approve purchase totaling $21,294.36.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Further discussion? Seeing none. In roll call. Matt Lane,
Yes.
Tim Luff,
Yes.
David Hiltz,
Yes.
Diane Ferrera,
yes.
Margot Frizek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
and Chairman votes yes. Again, thank you. All right. Change orders.
All right, walk us through the change orders. First one, PCO 8185 for PR 85. This one deleted 4 PDUs, power distribution units, from the TV studio. There was a credit for the install back. The actual devices were turned over to the school for attic stock, and the credit for that labor is $2,424. The next one, PCO 8200 for PR 106. This added occupancy sensors to the classrooms to support the amphitheaters, or the amplifiers at the displays. There was an issue where the displays and the volumes were cutting out based on the occupancy sensors in the room if they weren't recognizing people in the room during while they're using that device. So that's why we added this technology to eliminate that. Cost $73,222. You can stop me at any point with any questions, or I can keep going and we can talk at the end. It's up to you. Next one, 8179R1 for PR 83. This added a video entry system at the 2 loading docks, along with 2 master control stations to answer these. One at the office and then one at the receiving area inside the loading dock at Area C. Cost for these devices is $8,767. Next one, PCO 8180 for RFI 592. There was a previously issued PR that relocated the AV racks in the TV studio headroom to the, I think it was from the north wall to the south wall. That was a $0 change. There was a conflict with a thermostat and a light switch that had already been installed in that location. So the cost in this PCO for $1,290 is to move that light switch and thermostat to avoid that conflict. Next one, 25R1 for PR 122. This is added a chair rail in the administration suite along that long wall there, back behind the chairs, for protection of that wall over time. Get $612 for that. 8234 for PR 131. This added a microphone and pager device to the third floor assistant principal's office in that third floor admin suite. It was just not one called out for that location, and just to match all the others. Cost there is $2,874. The next one, 8195B, for a topic we've been discussing for a little bit now, is for PR 80, the Endine walking path. Total cost in this PCO, $418,080.74. This is the WT Rich portion of this work. We have separated a portion of this scope, and the town and the DPW is going to tackle a good chunk of the work on the north side of the field to relocate some of the workout equipment and to resolve a trench drain that just needs to shift a little bit to remove it outside of the field of play. The cost included here is to remove the existing grass, topsoil, replace that with reclaimed asphalt material to connect the walking paths at either end. Also includes removal of the existing.
Just for a sec, I think it may make some sense maybe to go to the
Sorry, yeah. You wanna go to the
shot
line?
we have of the path.
The last one.
Good, okay, thank you.
Sure, yep, good, thank you. There's some workout equipment on the north side of this page, Field 1, the field on the right-hand side, that's out of the field of view. That is going to be relocated and consolidated to allow the field to shift slightly north, again, to allow the walking path to fit on the bottom of the page there. And the scope that WT Rich will be completing, again, that walking path is outlined in green. They'll be installing that path, removing what's there, and replacing reclaimed asphalt material that the town is going to provide. On the field to the left, again, out of the plan of view here, is a softball backstop at the bottom of the screen. That's going to be removed and replaced with a new backstop, again, and will shift slightly north to allow the walking path to go behind that backstop. Then the two field goal posts, the field goal posts at the field on the left are going to be demolished. The field goal posts to the field on the right are going to be removed and reset to mimic the new layout of that field. It has to shift slightly, so they just need to be squared up. But they're going to have to be totally removed and reinstalled in order to do that. Again, total cost for all this, $418,080.74.
And there's also some landscaping associated with this?
Yes, the slope, I could say in the middle section where the two fields meet is going to be softened a little bit to make it less steep. Depending on once we lay out the field on the bottom side, if we can soften it, it's going to happen. But if it looks like it's very close to the walking path being inside of the 10-foot runoff of the field of play, they try to keep a grass surface for that 10 feet outside of the sidelines. So once we lay that out with the contractor, we'll be able to determine how much we can soften that slope, but it doesn't look like it's going to be able to be as much as we initially thought.
And there's also some trees there also that are going
Yes.
to be put in.
Correct.
Yeah, so there's the 7 maple trees, and re-loaming and seeding the entire slope is currently within the number, but that's right now a budget number with the landscaper, and if we end up doing less, they'll update that number.
Okay.
They currently submitted a not to exceed.
Okay, good. Okay.
Were we not going to get some more detailed pricing on the line items? Because we've got preliminary pricing on this stuff, and it seems like the scope of work has changed. The town is taking on some of this work. Is that clear?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we have detailed pricing. We
So,
can share that with you.
I mean, we okayed the curb and the guardrail.
Not included in this price, yep.
Right, exactly. And because we were waiting on more detailed pricing to approve the larger scope of work, which we don't have here.
Yeah, we can share it with you.
Yeah, we
Sure.
got that, we received that, I think the suggestion would be to pull this out of 25 and do the recommendation would be not to exceed, because it does include some allowances that we need to track on T&M.
I mean, the backstop, I know was a balloon number that I would not support for replacing of that backstop of whatever it was, $30,000 or something like that for a field that we're not even sure gets that much use. And it's a softball, t-ball, softball field. And again, it seems like, I'd like to know how much of the scope of work the town is actually doing before, before I would be prepared to vote on it.
Fair enough. I mean, we can pull it out of this list of change
Sure,
orders.
Yeah, we can show you that detailed pricing.
What are we looking at for timing?
Yeah, that was my other question.
Yeah,
because
okay.
Is this Franny's that's doing it, or is this Quigley involved in this?
Quigley.
Quigley.
Price with
Both.
Quigley, Franny's with the
Oh,
landscaping, yeah.
And Quigley's committed to doing this, or, because I know there was a timeline issue with the use of the fields.
Yeah, we
and the
coordinated
field
that.
scheduled.
We coordinated that last week. The commitment is to get the landscape and the soil work done this fall. If we have enough time to hydro seed by the end of the fall, we'll hydro seed by the end of the fall.
This fall?
Yes, but we would need to release that now. So
Yes.
if this is waiting till next month, then the answer is no, it would not be done this month.
I mean, I don't see how they're getting it all regraded and the path in and seeded and grass actually growing after Columbus Day at this point. So, but, anyway, those are my comments. I don't see that this is, we have enough information for me to properly vote in good conscience on this.
All right, what do we need now so that the work can be finished this calendar year? Because, we don't want, because W.T. Rich is
leave a breakdown.
decommissioning in December, and, we certainly don't want them to, remain on site. It's an added cost. So, what has to be released now to keep the project moving and on schedule?
I mean, we need to get released now in order to coordinate with youth sports to be able to get on the field by early November if we can. It depends when football ends. The town was gonna move forward with the items in yellow as soon as possible. And then based on the youth sports schedule, when football was out of season, be able to start the work on the path, because it's in the green line on the field number on the right side is within the current layout of the field.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Quick reflexes.
Is
Yeah,
the
so the-
issue that in that big number 418, we don't know how much you're paying and how much they're paying? Is that the problem?
This is just W.T. Rich's cost. I think Vertex has the breakdown.
Yeah.
Labor, there's material, there's grade. I heard reclaimed asphalt, which is new to me. We had discussions about it being gravel, not reclaimed asphalt, because of the proximity to the field. So if that's changed, I don't know whether that was approved by Mark Ryan or not.
Yeah.
So, and again, does that number include the $30,000 backstop?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Okay,
more.
so-
It's more than that.
Okay.
Do we want to
So
go
what's the-
through the breakdown?
Yeah, we can go through
Yeah,
the
why don't we
breakdown.
go through a breakdown?
Yeah. Because we
Um,
did walk with Quigley last week, and from a timeline perspective, they have confirmed with access from the softball area, they can get in there and work. But you're right, the path closest to the football field is pending the football season. And then the Loman seating is up to, that is a critical schedule item.
So do we want to continue the list of 25, table this and make this into its own change?
Yeah, we
order?
have,
Yeah.
we've broken it down item by item as requested, so we can.
So why don't we
dive
finish
in.
the list of 25, come back to this and break it out into its own change order?
Okay.
And then we can decide if we want to do it not to exceed, we can go through the breakdown.
Okay.
Okay. Because the bottom line is something has to be done this fall. But let's just see what the cost breakdown is, and then we can proceed.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do 25 without, at this point, without the walking path.
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So, why don't you
Okay, so
continue?
moving down to the next one, 8202. This was for a CCD. Once the layout of the dumpsters and the needed space for vehicle access at the loading docks, we realized there was not enough room. So the decision was made to move the recycling dumpsters away from the loading dock proper. They're right off to the side. So So the cost in this change is add a concrete pad for those recycling loading docks, and then there's some cost for additional fence to put around the recycling dumpster, and one more cost for concrete at the loading dock surface itself. And just reviewing that, there was some concerns about the longevity. The original material there was going to be asphalt, vehicle-grade asphalt, but there was some concerns, again, longevity with the dumpsters being picked out and pulled in all the time. So the decision was made to replace that asphalt with concrete. And then there was some minor landscaping work around where the two dumpsters were set for a total cost of $101,668. Next one, 8215, was cost of $694 to relocate two wireless access points in the auditorium that were in conflict, one with a camera view and one with another device that was hanging on the wall in that room. It's again $694 on T&M to remove that. PCO 8238 for PR 128 added some power receptacles in the third floor student collaboration room. I think this was for some 3D printers used in that room. Cost $2,000. Next one, 8190 for added data and faceplates. So this is in coordination with another PR that there was some monitors that we owned installing that were going to be turned over to the school. We then took those units and relocated them elsewhere. So the cost here of $20,303 is to install those 4 units, as well to add another unit to the conference room on the first floor in the administration suite, and then some power for cost for some power at those locations, again, $20,303. And finally, 8252 for RFI 657. This adds lighting to the rooftop for maintenance and service access at the mechanical equipment. It replaces the temporary lights that are up on the roof in their exact location with permanent power lighting for a total cost of $61,700. And the next one, the final one on the list there is 6099. So this is a construction contingency transfer of WT Rich. In their GMP, they have allowances for temp heat. They went through their allowances for temp heat as part of the contract. The overfund of those allowances is through CM contingency. So they overran their allowance by $76,996. The value of that needs to be approved by this committee to allow that transfer to happen. It's a $0 transfer. It does not affect the price of the contract, but we just needed to bring it here for formal approval.
Okay.
So the total, if we remove 8195B, the total for change order 25 is $270,708. Again, $270,708.
Okay, and that includes the contingency?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Well, no.
No.
It does,
It's
that's
a
a
$0.
separate,
That's $0.
$0, yep.
okay.
That wouldn't add to our contract.
Correct.
Oh, okay, all right. Gotcha, okay. All right, further questions? So at this point, we've taken the walking path out, and we're going to consider that separately, okay? Any further comments on the change order list?
David has his hand up. I don't know if that's on purpose.
Excuse me?
It's been up since the beginning.
Okay.
All right, seeing no comments, do we have a motion? Again, the amount we're talking is $270,708.
Motion to approve WT Rich change order number 25 for $270,708.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded. Further discussion? Seeing none, let's go to a voice vote. Matt Lane,
Yes.
Tim Luff,
Yes.
David Hiltz,
Yes.
Diane Ferreira,
Yes.
Margot Frezek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
and chairman votes yes, so that's unanimous. Okay. Let's get back to the walking path.
All right, so,
Okay, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
at our last meeting, there was a very detailed walking path scope and associated field work
and there was an order of magnitude for 458, 344. Those are the particular list pieces that I'm interested in hearing about, which ones are included in that, and which ones are not.
Okay.
You know, can you share my email from earlier with that detail, or would that help?
Yeah, I just don't know how shareable this is.
You just read it.
Yeah, I just read it. So softball backstop, remove and reinstall new is $89,956. The cost to demo what is out there, remove the grass and soil, along with resloping the hill there is $70,940.
Hold on, going back to the softball one, do you want to add the engineering to that number too?
Yeah, I was good, yeah. The cost to install the reclaimed asphalt is, in the location for the walking path, is $77,926.
And that's just labor?
Labor and equipment.
The way we left it with Mark Ryan is their trucks will go to the town's facility. They have a
Equipment's-
machine there to load, so we'll just truck it back and install.
And the way we asked them to do it is to only rip out what you can replace in a day, so it's all live loading, live unloading, and then there's no holes, trip hazards, anything like that
It's
when they leave that day.
Importing soil for the slope because they're not gonna reuse the tailings of coming out of the hole.
Yes,
Yes.
there's a separate, I think that's probably a separate
Yep,
line.
separate
you're gonna
line.
read, Yeah.
Then we have the cost to demo the field goal posts at the softball field, that's Field 2, for $11,868. Cost to demo and reinstall the field goal posts at Field 1, the football field, for $22,960.
So,
The loam and,
can you go back?
sure,
The first one was just to demo them?
yes, demo only.
Which field was that?
It's Field 2, where the softball field is.
Okay.
So you're not gonna put them back?
No, that was Mark's suggestion. They don't, it's not used, they don't
They
use
don't
it.
use it for football?
Yep.
Okay. So $11,000 to take them down?
Yes.
They don't use that for practice? Or they can use the other field for practice?
Pop Warner.
Or potentially reorder them if they need
They're
them.
not kicking field goals.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so, you went through, field goal posts, Field 1, Field 2.
The loam and seed. Tim, do you have something to say?
No, I didn't know if you were done or not.
Sorry. Loam and seed from Franny's Landscaping, 48,000.
That 48, to clarify, is the loam and seed based on the entire slope.
Correct.
And then the 7 maples is in there,
Yep,
that 48,000 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've carried some owner allowances of about 15,000 to repair the field once the field goal, once everything is shifted, we may need to add some sod in one of the corners to complete that playing surface. They've carried 15,000 for that. And then they've carried some additional fill for 27,500.
So those are just allowances?
Yes.
In case?
This will be tracked and
Yeah.
obviously not
Yeah,
expended.
Materials, yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Then there's a Jersey barrier allowance for along that access road if necessary for 7,000
Where, on what, where?
along the access road. I think it was just the timing of when we didn't know when the guardrail was going to be up and.
It's the balance, exactly. So we billed the first 3 months that we had it rented in with the curb and guardrail change separately, and this is just the balance. When now, originally we estimated 6 months, and it looks like they're out now, or they're going back now, so it's gonna be closer to 5. So again, that's just an allowance suggestion right now. But we're billing that with invoices as needed to Vertex.
And then finally, WT Rich's markup for 22,000.
All right, my math's bad because I got 89,000 for backstop,
Mm-hmm.
70,000 for strip loom on the slope, approximately.
48,000, oh,
No,
sorry.
48 was to loom and seed the slope.
Yep. Yeah, sorry,
was to
70,
strip
yep,
it.
yep.
277.
So that's $160. 48's 208, 33 for demo and replacement of field goal posts, so how are we at 418?
You got 78 for the
Yeah, you didn't add the
path.
78 for the path?
78 for the path. Okay.
And then there's a $5,000 owner allowance for the engineering
sorry,
of the
missed that one.
softball
Yeah.
footings. That's not in the 89 number you read.
And markups.
Yeah, 22.
And most of these are itemized, so if we want to pick and choose.
Excuse me?
Are you still gonna have to relocate the existing chain link fence? Is that part of it?
That's part of the DPW scope.
So that would be town.
Town, yes.
So the direction we gave our subcontractors is from the field goal post, inclusive of the field goal post and south. Basically,
Yep.
center of the field and south would be a part of our scope.
Okay.
And to clarify, the areas that are right now just allowances is how that final field fits in on the right side there. If we can make it a lesser slope, that was the request of engineering, we will. So we've suggested including additional fill material and loam and seed of that area, assuming we can lessen that slope. And right now, the direction was to have Brennan come back out. They did their first layout. They're coming back out on Tuesday to lay that out with the engineering department and confirm exactly where that corner can be, so we can nail in hard number, what that number is from, to slope that. So that's the only reason that area is allowance.
Yeah, so this would end up being a not to exceed number based on all the allowances that we have in there that would be tracked.
Correct, and it's itemized by every subcontractor, so
Yep.
if we want to take stuff out and update the pricing, we can, it's not to exceed in that sense too, so.
All right, any further comments, further questions?
Gary, you had a question about like the softball backdrop.
Oh, I know.
Which I have a $90,000 backstop. Is it something that we've talked? I guess the question is, would it be used? Is it used by the town? I've never seen anyone.
I mean, does anybody play
For that.
softball there?
Maybe men's
Sounds like
leagues.
men's is
So we were
like,
told it was men's league. The last meeting, we talked about if we're gonna take the softball out and not put a backstop that kind of met adult men's league softball at a minimum, to put a regular sized backstop in so it would protect the building from foul balls. So that's why it was designed the way it's designed.
Again, I guess the outstanding,
Softballs?
Yeah.
Slow pitch softball fireballs?
Yeah,
The backstop's not gonna protect the building from, the backstop, the school's to the side of it.
it's just it's getting close.
I'm just saying.
Well, I've
Isn't it
played a
down
bunch.
over there?
I'm just saying
It's
it's getting
the
closer to
solid
home
black
plate.
one
It's gonna
you
be
see
a
in the
bigger,
bottom
more
left.
encompassing, like a regular baseball backstop to mitigate as many as possible from going back. Because right now it doesn't stop anything.
It's right there.
So that
Yes,
was what
exactly.
was designed as a worst case scenario as far as the most expensive option.
Question, does that $89,000 include the removal of the current backstop, or just? is
Yes.
that
Yeah.
something that you want?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so break that down for me, because if you have to remove it anyway, what's that cost versus the cost of the new, you know?
The subcontractor did not break out demo versus new. I would assume it's a minor cost of the total, but I can ask them to break it out.
I mean, what's there now is really minimal. I can't believe will be, substantial cost.
Yeah, I doubt it's a huge portion of the 90, but.
So we can assume that the majority of the 89 is related to a new backstop.
yes.
I think it's a safe assumption. But again, if the town wants to do that demo themselves and we want to update this to be install only, I can ask them to update the price.
I mean, we said we don't need, we can say we don't want a full-size baseball backstop, but from a designer's perspective, you guys were designing based on who might actually use the field.
Correct.
And is this the old field that was behind, like where the equipment shed was, and you walk, like if you came out Little League Field, it's right over there?
It's right there where the hand is. See where the hand is on the screen?
Yeah, it's right there.
That's where it is.
It's the
Right
lower,
there.
it's the lower field.
Yeah, but I'm
It's
trying to
right-
visualize it
directly
in real,
behind us.
it's, so it's, right-
It's the farthest field.
Right over there.
Feel right there.
yeah. Yeah, little kids sometimes use it, and I know AAU once or twice used it when my kid played
For baseball.
Gators. I doubt they use it, it's a like very undesirable kind of field.
I mean, we can remove it.
Mostly underwater.
I mean, one thing you can do is, I mean, there's some questions about it. You could remove it from here, you know, maybe do a little bit more work, see whether there are any more options, and maybe bring it back for a final, you know, up or down vote in November.
What do you guys want to do?
And the only option is to start removing scope, right? So we've been looking at this for
you
7
take-
months now, like.
You take the backstop out, and then we can decide if you need a backstop later. That's something that's easy enough.
Yeah,
to
that's
add.
my point, yeah.
It's easy to be
Yeah.
added after the fact.
I mean, if
The
the back,
suggestion was if we were going to replace a backstop, to replace it with a full-size baseball field type backstop to, again, not design that it was too short and then have something come back and hit the building and say, why didn't you build a bigger backstop?
yeah, I mean, the backstop right now is not critical
No.
to the design. It's more ancillary. So we can proceed with everything else and hold off a decision whether or not we want to do a backstop.
You can
But
do
at
it with the
least,
spring.
but at least you get the rest of the field work, and, you know, you get the path built, you get the field moved, you get the equipment and the fence moved. Basically, you know, you complete the walking path related portion of the project.
Yeah.
So if we took out,
Old one has to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one has to move though.
right, right, if we took out the backstop, what would the cost be?
I just did a live and without our, it works out to be approximately $317,900. That's with W.T. Rich's markup out as well.
Okay,
317 what?
$317,902.
Probably get quid to remove that backstop.
Yeah, I didn't even include cost for a demo, I just took it all out.
Yeah.
Right.
okay.
I would make a motion to approve that 317,000 and
300, so that's a motion for $317,902,
yes.
okay? Do we have a second?
Second.
To exceed.
Motion made and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, let's take a vote. Again, this is a virtual vote. Matt Lane,
Yes.
Timothy Luff,
Yes.
David Hiltz,
Yes.
Diane Ferreira,
Yes.
Margot Frezek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
and chairman votes yes. So we're proceeding with everything, with the entire scope of the Endine walking path, minus the work associated with the backstop, which we will take up again for a final yea or nay in November. Okay?
With the new, demo existing, no new, correct?
Yep.
We'll see what the options are, or are there any other options for a backstop? I have no idea. And I guess the other question maybe people can look at is how often is it used?
I think you can just table it and we look at it in the spring.
We could certainly do that.
It might also be worth it talking to Jonathan Longley and seeing if there was something there, could it then be used by the high
Yeah,
school?
because my sense is that if somebody is going to use it, we should put a backstop there, but on the other hand, if it's not going to be used, then why spend, 90 to 100 grand? Basically, it's 100 grand is what everything is said and done, so,
Fair.
good catch. Okay. What else we looking at? Ending path done. Any other items not reasonably anticipated?
I just had two quick things.
Okay?
Just a curiosity, not that I want this to happen, but, do you know when, just sort of the closing out process, what is the timeline for the rest of the middle school building committee? And then my second question would be also, tied to that, I know we've discussed it before, but I would kind of like some more specifics in concrete around, because we have such a large cost savings and cost, like sort of remainder of funds, what does that look like as we move forward? We don't necessarily need to answer that now, but if we could get those two things on the agenda for next time.
And in terms of the second question, we could certainly look at, since we'll have a better handle of change order costs and subsequent work in the project, we can certainly give a, not a final number, but a reasonable number on what we think the cost savings on the overall project will be. So we can certainly do that. In terms of,
Yeah, and I'm sorry to drop out, and not only that, but, if there are, the word I was looking for, I'm sorry, is surplus or excess funds. I know that that's governed a certain way, but like, what does that look like, and where is that gonna go?
that may be a decision that's outside of the middle school building committee. That may be more likely at a minimum, a town meeting decision. The town fathers, will have to get together and determine the best ways to spend that money, but it's more of at a minimum, a town meeting decision, and very possibly it may have to go back to the voters. I'm not sure about that. But it's not a decision that the middle school building committee will be making.
Okay, but just, I think, on that process of who would be involved, what monies are left, what, legally we have to do, because I know state law outlines
Yeah.
that, which I appreciate, and then,
Yeah.
as I said, I know you can't necessarily
Yeah.
speak to the second one, but maybe at least just a timeline on what sort of the remainder of our committee looks like. But
Yeah, the bottom line is, we can't really do anything at all with that additional money until we finalize the closeout process. So we're probably at least a year and a half out from there. Maybe even longer.
No, we're probably less than a year away from submitting.
Yeah, but then
our
they'll,
audit to the MSBA, but that process is running close to 2 years at this point,
really? Okay, their process?
their process.
So you're saying if we send it in July of '26, we won't expect anything until potentially
I would
'28?
expect it sooner than that, Alan.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's been running. So that final 5% reimbursement won't be for potentially 2 years.
Okay,
As far as the final building committee meeting, most likely depending on what we have in the spring for a landscape punch list and a final pay app. You're probably final building committee in the spring to kind of do a final round of all
yeah.
final invoices and everything and get that all teed up.
All right, so
To submit.
we'll still be meeting through the winter, clearly. We'll see.
You'll have invoices to approve, but whether or not you need a meeting after that, you can decide how you want to do that.
We'll see what the potential invoices are. Maybe the committee can give me approval to execute those if they're, below a certain number, rather than we all meet. It's really what the committee wants to do.
Yeah,
I can do it any way.
Part of our closeout process, by the end of this year, we'll have updated projections on the budget status as far as where all the line items are trending. Now
Yep.
that we have most of the change orders behind us.
Yep.
And at that point, you'll know what we think will be the final balance, and you also know balances that remain on any commitments.
Yeah,
So we'll know when they'll be billed.
okay,
By mid-December, we'll almost.
all right. So, because I don't really, want to have meetings if the costs really are just minimal.
Yeah, there'll be some decent balances to closing out the construction contract.
Yeah, okay. All right, good.
Other than that, it'll be minimal.
Anything further?
thank you.
I had just one other.
Here, the next meeting, we continue with our second trend site would be
Yeah.
the 10th.
Okay, Gary, you had a
I
comment?
just had one comment. The planning board approved the changes to site plan Monday, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Was there any discussion about, I know they talked about, in one of the conditions was the netting on either ends of the field for the goalposts is a requirement under the approval
Yep.
to be installed. Was there any discussion about padding this end of the wall in the end zone?
No, not that I heard. Never heard that one.
Okay. gonna come
All
up.
right, if that's the case, let's have something for the next meeting.
Has anybody looked at it? Well, I haven't walked the field because they've been working on it, so I haven't gone over to see what the distance is from the back of the end zone to the wall. Not a long way. So, I don't know if that was explored, or is there enough room for a kid running through the end zone to stop? Something to look into.
Okay. All right. We'll take a look at that for the next meeting. All right, anything further? Hearing none, let's just do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Made and seconded. Let's simply do that as a voice vote. All in favor of adjournment? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.